Who's under the Taskmaster mask? Is it Milena Vostokov? Is it the mysterious Mason? Is it Hawkeye?
Hey man.
3 babies in a trench coat? A time-traveling multiverse version of Tony Stark's distant cousin? Or Natasha herself? Okay, some of those probably not, but we still don't know much about Taskmaster or where they come from. Even though it's being hidden from us, is it possible the villain is actually the new Winter Soldier? Is HYDRA making their grand return, and if so, what does that mean for the Black Widow movie and the character's future? Well, let's discuss right now. So first off, it's important to understand just how much HYDRA has their claws in everything. They're like parasites, and if they're not just completely eradicated, then they'll always have a chance to come back. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a pretty good job fighting them, but I don't think that's canon anymore.
Hail HYDRA!
I think HYDRA actually has infiltrated Disney and erased that show from the timeline. Hey, like I said, HYDRA is everywhere. We know that HYDRA initially started in the MCU as a German affiliate, but of course that carried over to the Soviet Union. We know Arnim Zola played a big part in transforming poor Bucky Barnes into the original Winter Soldier, and the results were pretty amazing. Well, not amazing for anyone who crossed the Winter Soldier's path, of course, but I'm sure the superiors were quite happy. During the Cold War, they had their own super assassin. They could pull out of their freezer, put in a giant microwave, press the defrost button for a few minutes, and voila, a ready-to-go super soldier assassin. You think after the Cold War they debated a name change? I mean, Winter Soldier, Cold War made a lot of sense, but afterwards, kinda strange. Makes it seem like it could only come out during one particular season. Got a target in the summer? Sorry, can't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I hype up the Winter Soldier because we have to realize just how devastating it must have been for the Soviet Union and HYDRA to lose their top assassin. Sure, we all rejoice that Bucky was able to break free from his programming thanks to some Wakanda assistance and do things like enjoy barbecue with Sam and his sister.
Hi, Sarah.
But does anyone stop to think how HYDRA felt about this? Converting brainwashed assassins back to Avengers is not a victimless crime after all. There was now a hole in the Winter Soldier department, so why wouldn't they just fill it with someone else? I mean, they have the technology. If you recall, Bucky killed Howard and Maria Stark in the 90s and stole the super soldier serum from them. This led HYDRA to be able to make multiple attempted super soldiers, who were put in cryostasis after they tried to rebel against their masters. This, of course, led to Civil War, where at first we thought Baron Zemo had a plan to unleash all the super soldiers in cryostasis by traveling to the Siberian base, only for the twist to be that he murdered all of them to stop super soldiers from getting out. But here's the important thing, was that really all of them? HYDRA is basically known for not putting all of its eggs in one basket. It's kind of their thing, so why would they hide every single one of their super soldiers in one place? Or maybe in Captain America Civil War, there was another secret room with the top super soldier hidden away from the others that Zemo didn't know about. Bear with me as I hash this out. Tell me if it makes sense. There's another super soldier somewhere in that Siberian base. He wakes up to find the bodies of all the other super soldiers and wanders around until he comes across leftover Stark tech that was debris from Captain America and Iron Man's epic battle. This tech, if you recall, allowed Tony to mimic fight patterns of Captain America and analyze his moves to provide a counter defense. This super soldier is picked up by Siberian officials who are most likely infiltrated by HYDRA and use both this new super soldier and the tech to create Taskmaster. Then boom, you have a replacement for the Winter Soldier that HYDRA lost, and not only is he super strong and super brainwashed, but he also has the tech to mimic other people's fighting styles. So yeah, I think Taskmaster is the new Winter Soldier, but you want to hear something even more wild? What if Taskmaster was a Bucky Barnes clone? Now, this is where things start to get a little crazy, but bear with me, it's fun, I promise. We've all been dying to know just who's under the Taskmaster mask. It's been widely speculated that it's O.T. Fagbenley's mysterious Mason character, who we know nothing about. But there's still a pretty vocal group that's saying it's actually Rachel Weisz's character. But what if it's neither? I mean, after all this time, it's going to be a bit disappointing if it's just one of those two, right? And you can't just have some random famous actor reveal himself at the end. You know, unless it's Matt Damon. Matt Damon shows up in everything. So unless Black Widow plans to never show us who's under the mask and keep a Taskmaster as a silent mimic for however long he's in the MCU, then it's got to be someone we're familiar with. The only person that it really could be in that instance is a Bucky Barnes clone. If you think about this, it could make a bit of sense. Bucky was HYDRA's top assassin, so it would stand to reason that through all their experimentation and metal armifying, they found a way to replicate and clone Bucky. That way, if they ever lost Bucky Prime, they would have a backup. What better way to make Taskmaster the new Winter Soldier than by making him the clone of the original Winter Soldier, right? Then this presents an interesting challenge for Natasha. Does she tell Steve? Does she try to rescue clone Bucky? Does Nat ever find out it's a clone? Or is that something that could just be revealed to the audience? Having Taskmaster be a Bucky Barnes clone sidesteps all that awkward lead-up and eventual disappointment to who's actually under the Taskmaster mask. Plus, it finds a way to keep Sebastian Stan in the MCU for longer. I mean, he has a standard 9-picture contract and has only appeared in like 5 or 6 movies. So might as well burn one of those appearances in Black Widow, right?
No.
Plus, if they want to give Bucky a happy ending but want to keep Sebastian Stan around, then this would provide an interesting new dynamic for the actor to play. Black Widow talked about how when facing the Winter Soldier, she lost in their first encounter and was shot. This idea of pitting Nat against the new Winter Soldier would be a great rematch. Plus, it would set this movie up as the world's new top assassin versus the world's old top assassin, and that's something I would pay a lot of money to see. So regardless of whether Taskmaster is a Bucky Barnes clone, which, yeah, I admit is a little nuts, what are the long-term ramifications for Taskmaster in the Black Widow movie? The trailers make it seem like Taskmaster is under just as much control as Bucky was, and we've seen that level of brainwashing can be overwritten. Maybe this new Winter Soldier goes through a similar arc as Bucky, but with a few key differences. Bucky was able to break the programming thanks to the love and commitment of his friends. But what if someone didn't have that support system? What if Taskmaster is able to ignore commands and branch out on their own by the end of Black Widow, but still wants to be a little nefarious? I think that would make him perfect for something like Valentina Allegra de Fontaine's new Dark Avengers team, wouldn't it? It's been reported that Julia Louis-Dreyfus was supposed to appear in the Black Widow movie first, but because of the pandemic and shifting movie release dates, her second appearance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier actually ended up as her first appearance. But if Val does end up making an appearance, it most likely would be to recruit Taskmaster. Maybe in some twisted Nick Fury-esque way in a post-credit sequence, we'll see Val appear to Taskmaster and reveal she's putting together her own team. How epic would that be, right? That ensures Taskmaster can stay in the MCU for a while, and with their skill set, they'd be a perfect addition to a slightly evil super team. But the real question is, can HYDRA ever fully be destroyed enough to let go of their second Winter Soldier? Or will Taskmaster have to use the new Dark Avengers team to wipe out HYDRA once and for all, so that a new evil superpower can rise up and take control of the criminal underworld? Yes, please. Here's hoping that Taskmaster actually gets solid development in the Black Widow movie. I know the film has a lot to do, and it would be easy to put Taskmaster on the back burner as a no-name villain in order to flesh out Black Widow's family dynamics even more, but I think Taskmaster could be a great character that can be used for years to come. Bucky Clone or no Bucky Clone? Alright, no, I got it. Happy Hogan is the one under the Taskmaster mask, and he's actually now a former disgruntled Stark employee turned evil. We haven't seen that before, right? Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess.